Yo, it is week number six. Seis. Man, it always feels like we're moving quick. Like I would say week 1 through 5. Like it always feels like it moves so fast. Maybe because we're having so much fun. Maybe because teams are kind of getting organized. Maybe because players are starting to play a lot better. Some players are not playing so good. But we're here. We're at week 6. I think a good amount of us feel pretty good about our situations. Um, we got a good amount of losers and a decent amount of winners, and one undefeated. One guy undefeated. So let's get into it, guys. Let's start off with the guy who is currently undefeated. And we're going to go with Mondo going up against Frankie Cisco Kid. Mondo currently, like I'm saying, undefeated, being 5-0 right now. So with him being undefeated and going up against the guy who hasn't won a game, you kind of feel like there's got to be one of the two. It's got to be the week that Frankie busts out a miracle and wins, or it's just going to be another week that someone else has a bye and Mondo stays undefeated. Going into the game, Frankie did pull off a trade. He traded off A.J. Brown for Cortland Sutton and Zach Moss. These are two positions that he kind of needed. For sure he needed a running back, so that helps out for him. He's got a great matchup right there. So if you look at his lineup right now, we're going with Joe Barrow, Naheem Himes, Zach Moss, Cortland Sutton, T. Higgins, and Chase Claypool. And even Tyler Higbee as a tight end. That's a sneaky tight end pick that he picked up on the waiver wire. He paid about $25 for that. So 25 hots gets you T. Higgins. Okay, so I mean the matchups are kind of there. You have some players that haven't been playing for a minute, and they should come out and produce. And you have some upside. You definitely do. If you look at the other side at Mondo, Mahomes, uh, Daryl Henderson. I always kind of forget that guy's name. Daryl Henderson. Um, is it Damian Williams? Let me see right now. Because right now, yeah, Daryl Williams. Because right now we're at a point where all these backups guys, all the bench players, bye weeks are barely kicking in. So we're barely kind of getting in the mix of it right now. Justin Jefferson, questionable, but he should play. D-Hop, also questionable, but he should play. Amari Cooper looks like he's finally healthy enough. He doesn't even have a question mark next to his name, so he should play. And right now, we're going with Mondo streaming a tight end. I mean, it's basically the least of his worries, right? I mean, Kyle Pitts is at a bye week, but even then, Kyle Pitts hasn't been producing. He's had one great game last week, but it literally took for them to travel a million miles away, and it literally took for no one else to be on the field but him, and that's why he produced. So, I mean, who do I have winning this game? I'm gonna go with Mondo. I mean, I love Frankie. I do feel like hopefully he could win, if that makes any sense. I do feel he could hopefully win, but hopefully he could win. Somebody needs to stop Mondo. Wouldn't it be great if it's a guy that nobody else predicted to win? So I mean, Mondo, I got you going undefeated, but of course, fantasy gods always got their own plans. So moving on to the schedule, we're going with another guy who hasn't won a game, and that's Emery, who is 0-5. And we got Marcos, who was 3-2. Now, we already talked about this in the courts, in the rugged hard cold field of courts already. And we feel honestly bad for Emery. Emery legit tries. Emery legit, is on fantasy. He needs to dump Sirius XM radio from what we've heard in the streets. He needs to dump that. He also needs to not cut his fro. So there's a list of things that Emery has fallen into the bad juju section. But basically, do not do these things if you want to have an Emery type of season. So we look at Marcos right now. Jalen Hurts, he traded off his other quarterback which was Josh Allen, to Joe. So now he has Jalen Hurts, Devin Booker, who has been a big money spender right there. Okay, Kareem Hunt with a question mark, but I think he'll be okay. Hill also with a question mark, but I think he'll be okay. I do believe these guys are kind of nursing some injuries, but again, I think they're going to be okay. Okay, so if you look at Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and then you also have another player, Noah Fant, and Devontae Smith. Okay. I like Noah Fant. He just hasn't been producing. Devontae Smith looks like he is the guy. I mean, he is obviously the best receiver the Eagles have. He also plays today against a very weak Tampa Bay defense, but they're good on the run. Luckily, the Eagles really, they kind of don't want to run it. They just really want to throw it all the time. So, yeah. If we look at the other side, we got Aaron Rodgers, Chicago. It's a division game. Division games are always fun. Gibson gets a question mark next to his name, too. Is Shin missing practice? Need to monitor that shin. It's been bothering him for about 2 to 3 weeks already now. Chris Evans gets to start too. He is a rookie running back for the Bengals. And I'm guessing he's playing him because Shamaje Perine is not going to play. And I'm guessing because Mixon is not maybe 100%. And he feels that Chris Evans should have a good opportunity to play. We got Devontae Smith, Robert Woods, Knox, who has been coming up as the number 3 tight end on the spot right now. Josh Allen really loves him now. And Laviska Shenault gets the start in the flex. So, man, it's a bunch of who's and a bunch of what the fuck, you know what I mean, on Emery's side. So, if you look at Emery's side, bro, it's a bunch of, like I'm saying, it's a bunch of people that you basically do not really want to know. It's kind of like going on a bunch of blind dates with people and you basically say, no, pass, until that finally person hits. And this is what's kind of going on. He's betting for someone to hit. Who do I have winning here? I'm going to go with Marcos. Marcos actually spent some money to get somebody. He actually has some players that should produce in his system. He's actually having some players whip some good opportunities to produce points. So I'm going with Marcos. It's not a hard decision for me. He's feeling it. He's willing to take Emery back to church. Because Emery was cooking, but it looks like the flame's gone. Moving on to the next matchup, we got Jesus right here, 2-3, fuck life. I mean, his life is fucked up right now due to fantasy aspects and NFL aspects. Looking up and going up against, who the fuck is that guy, Richard, who is, who is 3-2. So he got Kyler Murray. He's dealing with some type of shoulder injury. This is not what you want as a quarterback, to have to deal with any type of hand or upper body injury. Eckler gets the start. He's been absolutely amazing. If you look at this guy's productivity, this guy gets about more than 5 targets a game, more than 15 touches for rushing. I mean, he's obviously a big piece of this offense. He's obviously a great player. Dalvin Cook should get the start, so it's looking like Richard's getting a little bit healthier right now. Marquis Brown is looking like a number 1 wide receiver now. It's kind of a shocker, but I'm kind of not that much surprised. I mean, he was a first-round pick, so, And the sleeper tight end, Dan Arnold from the Jaguars, gets the start because you do kind of like that matchup right there against Miami. Miami has been kind of a interesting team, but they traditionally are just not a good team. So, I mean, you start players against Miami. You start players against Jacksonville, right? On the other side, you're looking at Jesus. Fuck his life right now. He is struggling right now through injuries, but he's getting some help right now. Cousins looking like he's going to be his QB right now. He's got a decent type of matchup, but at the same time, you cannot lie in the fact that he has players that are producing. He has elite players, and it helps the fact that he's getting Dalvin Cook back if he does play. Christian McCaffrey has a question mark, but it's looking like he should play. That is a huge upside for Jesus. It's really traditional. I mean, it's really, technically speaking, the only player that you are worried about in Jesus' team. Latavius Murray gets to start. I think he should have a decent game. He didn't really produce last week, but he should have a decent game. Adam Thielen has a question mark, but I think he'll play. OBJ should have a good game against Arizona, but I'm convinced Baker's just not a good quarterback. What's his name? Dalton Schultz is low-key, if not for people that do not know this, he is the number 4 tight end right now. This is what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with a bunch of who knew who's and what the fucks, you know what I mean? Because we got tight ends that are basically nobodies, and they're over here in the top 5, homie. So, and you look at Emmanuel Sanders. I'm really surprised that he was dropped, and then it took a while for people to get him. I was gonna get him, but I'm just like, dude, I don't need any more receivers. I'm kind of like wanting to go with running backs, but I'm another story. But that's a great pickup right there for, I feel, with Emmanuel Sanders for Jesus. I'm surprised nobody really wanted to get him that much, but who do I have winning this game? We already know Richard likes to set up his lineup. A little later, he's debating that flex spot, which is why I didn't mention it. But if we talk, just you and I, with the screen right here, let's talk about who he should start. He's got Damian Harris, James Conner, Robbie Anderson, and Tim Patrick as far as a bench. Now, as in a flex, you look at who has a favorable spot. I mean, Gordon's not going to play. I mean, you kind of feel like you have to play either Connor or Patrick. And who do I feel like is going to win? I'm going to go with I'm gonna go with Rich. And by the way, I fucked up. I forgot to say that Julio Jones is gonna play, looking like he's gonna play for Richard. So interesting matchup right there with the Bills, but I think Richard could pull off a win right here, and I got Richard winning this game. I'm sorry, Jesus, but the hurt continues, bro. Moving on to the next game, let's just get my game out the way. It should be a pretty nice game. It should be a pretty high point game. I got myself going up against Josh. Josh is currently 3-2. I am currently 2-3. I shot myself in the foot last week. Some may say I got a little too cute. I mean, I'm gonna say that because I did say that. I did get a little too cute last week. I basically kind of gave the win to Marcos by benching my #1 overall pick because of basically a systematic matchup that I felt was not right, but I guess we all learn from mistakes. So we're looking at this matchup right here. He's got Justin Herbert. Aaron Jones got a question mark on him, but he should be playing. Darius Swift has a question mark, but he's been having a question mark for the last times that, I mean, for all these times that he's been in practice field. So they're limiting him on snaps for sure for the practice field because they want to have him ready for the game. I totally understand that. Cooks, his name Deontay Johnson, Travis Kelce, Devin Singletary. Now, the matchup itself, it doesn't scare me. I'm sorry, Josh. It doesn't freak me out. I mean, let's be honest. The biggest threat to me personally, I feel, is the QB and your 2 running backs, and of course Kelce. But I'm not really threatened by Kelce because I already just feel that he's just gonna produce every single time. So it's not really a worry. It's just more about hoping that he doesn't get as many points. Looking at the other side right here, I got some pretty decent players, and I got some great matchups. Matthew Stafford, Najee Harris, James Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Terry McLaurin, Darren Waller, and A.J. Brown that I acquired this week off of via trade. Now, A.J. Brown has not done shit. And it's kind of funny because I got A.J. and Antonio Brown, okay? So, A.J. Brown hasn't done shit, but I feel some weird feeling because it's primetime game, because he came off his first game of the injury last week. I feel Buffalo is going to annihilate these guys, no doubt. Like, Buffalo is going to score points. No, they're a fucking train storm. They just can't be stopped, okay? So I feel ultimately they're going to run the ball, no doubt, but they are going to struggle. Buffalo has a good run defense. They have a good defense overall. And this is the week that I feel that they're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to really try to win this game because this is a big competition. So who do I got winning? Long story short, guys, I got myself winning. Fuck Josh. I got to win this game. When I get too cute, I get angry. So I got to fucking fight it. I got to play angry this week. So Josh, we dropping that shit. The fucking curse continues. I don't even want to bring up last week because Gabe had an amazing comeback, but we're getting to Gabe. So moving on to the next game, we got Joe, the weatherman. 2-3, and it's looking kind of cloudy right now because he's going up against Turo, who is 3-2. But as we know, Turo is, he's not the #1 overall. He's not the #1, but he's playing like a #1. It's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? So looking at Turo's team, Tom Brady going up tonight against Philly. Ezekiel Elliott's got a question mark, but I think he's going to be fine. Derrick Henry gets to start no matter what. Jamar Chase has been an elite wide receiver. He's looking like he's the rookie of the year. He's playing phenomenal. Mike Evans is playing good. Hunter Henry has been low-key kind of consistent as a tight end, throughout this time, so that's pretty cool. You like to see that. Mike Williams gets a question mark. He does not practice yesterday, but I think he'll be fine. He has been a #2 overall wide receiver right now. He is a stud. Looking at the other side for the weatherman, Josh Allen against Tennessee. You absolutely love that matchup, and you love the fact that Tennessee should try to make this a close game. You don't just want... honestly, Josh Allen still looks like, even if it's 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, this guy still wants to jump over people and stuff. So Joe Mixon gets to start. He's got a question mark. We can look into it. He's limited on logs, but I feel they just want to have him fine and ready and nice and dandy for the matchup that's coming up for him. Josh Jacobs gets to start against Denver. You don't love it, but you kind of bank on the fact that basically they get in a red zone, and this guy is a touchdown guy. He finds the end zone all the time. So, but it's a very interesting game to see. One, being a division game. Two, the fact that the coach Gruden is absolutely fired. I'm sure you know that. Going on into this list, C.D. Lamb, Tyrell Lockett, Gesicki, and Pittman. Pittman actually had a great game last week. Yeah, he did. He had an amazing catch. I saw that. But long story short, guys, who do I have winning this game? Fuck, man. Like I said, the weather is looking like it's getting cloudy right there for Joe. So I got to go with Turo. He has the monster squad. He's got the status. He's got the pull. He's got the motherfucking juice right now. He is the man right now. And I get it. Mondo is 5-0. I understand that. I do. But you also got to look at points. You got to look at how these people win games. And Turo has just been crushing it. While Mondo, he's just been getting lucky. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Going on to the the matchup of the week. It's got to be I Am Your Pimp, Gabe, with an amazing ass comeback win last week, who is 3-2, going up against Oscar, who is the number 2 right now, 4-1 record. So Oscar is a good fantasy player going up against Gabe, who low-key is not out of this quite yet, and is the pimp in this certain situation. Prescott gets to start. Chubb gets to start. You do have a question mark on him, but he's going to be fine. Tony Pollard, you kind of feel good about starting him because Zeke is dealing with an injury right now early as far as practice goes. But either way, he's arguably a starter either way with a healthy Zeke. So you like the fact that Zeke is not healthy. So you want to monitor that. David Moore gets to start. He's going to bounce back. DK gets to start. He has a questionable list on him. We could check it out right now on live time, exclusive ESPN De Ocho. You already know DK man has still limited beast off his foot, so I think he'll be okay. But this is not what you want, a foot injury off a wide receiver. It is very serious. Hawkinson, the tight end, gets a bothering knee. He is also limited. I think he'll be fine. Chris Godwin gets to start, no doubt. I mean, the Eagles, they're a bad team, but defensively through the air, they're kind of good. But overall, they're a bad team, so you should be fine. On the other side, Lamar Jackson, who the fuck is this? Damian Williams, Jonathan Taylor, Keenan Allen, Jacoby Myers, Mark Andrews, who is now the number 2 tight end because of last week's production, and Marvin Jones. So let's just be honest, guys. Let's just be totally honest. This squad doesn't scare you. And it didn't scare Josh last week. But what it did almost gave him a heart attack was basically Gabe coming up with 100-plus points in one fucking game. That is pretty amazing. That is very hard to do. So that's why I have this game as my matchup of the week, because we just can't go based off of statistics here, ladies and gentlemen. We have to go based off of the hardcore facts. And the hardcore facts is that Gabe has the potential to win. So since Oscar doesn't like me picking him, and since Gabe is low-key in a row right here, I'm gonna go with Gabe winning this game. Yeah. Check that out, man. So not only is Gabe the pimp in a certain situation, but he surely be pimping, popping up some hoes right now with Oscar. Now, that is the conclusion of the week number 6 of ESPN De Ocho. You already know we brought it to you exclusively off of motherfucking Thursday morning. It is a beautiful morning. It is cold, but I already had my coffee and we're about to get the day started. And I figured what not better way to get started with talking to you fuckers. So everybody, good luck. Everybody, hopefully nobody gets hurt. Everything stays cool. Have fun.